But the passion, dude, if you allow the passion to be louder than the challenges, right? It's hard, dude. It's hard. It's hard for me. I'm taking a new role on that I absolutely have a lot to learn to get to where I need to be. And it's overwhelming. But I want to let the passion be louder than the challenges, because then that passion will create work. And I believe that will be something that will carry me into the next stage of life.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Off the Clock podcast, where we bring our team members out of the trucks, off the phones, to get a little bit better look at their life. I'm your host, Gage Rodas in Dayton, and today I am privileged to be joined by the man, the legend, Brian Shade. Brian, how are you?
Doing well, man. Glad to be here.
Dude, I'm glad to have you. Brian is walking around the office all the time with the highest level of energy. Every time I see you, you get me so hyped up.
Yeah.
So I was really excited about this one. We did a little research. You answered some questions before, so kind of had some insight. And I made an icebreaker question that's personalized for you.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice, yeah.
So I know you have 2 cats.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So here's my question, Brian. You've got 2 cats. You remodel your house with your wife, right?
Yeah.
And you spend your free time serving the community in Dayton.
Yeah.
So if Nyla and Nico could describe your perfect Sunday in one sentence, what would they say?
Perfect Sunday in one sentence, huh? That's a good one, dude. That is. If they could explain my perfect Sunday in one sentence, I would hope they would say that, serving the community, but also, doing the work of our father. So yeah, I would hope that they, would know that my heart's in the right place.
Nice, dude.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I'm sure those cats have it nice up at your place.
Yeah, dude. I pray over my cats. I pray over life. I pray over my house. Some people might think that's a little different or strange, but I believe that way.
There's power in
I
that.
believe in that way, and that's the way I try to walk every day to the best of my ability.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about your history. Like, how did you get into electrical? I guess before that, let me preface by Brian you're the manager of electrical now?
Yep. Just recently promoted to the manager of the electrical division.
Okay. How did you get into electrical? And then specifically, how did you get to 5-star?
Nice. Yeah, my father was an electrician. He was a union electrician. And so growing up, he wasn't around the most, as per se to be a father to me. But he was around in as far as being in the trade and so on. But he took me around with him growing up on all the jobs that he would go to. And I guess that was his way of spending time with us.
That's what I was going to ask you. It was like, did he take you out at an early age? And
he did, yeah. As a union electrician, most of the time that we spent with him was in the van going from jobs to jobs.
Really? How young were you when that started?
Oh, man, probably. As far back as I can remember as a kid. There's pictures. The pictures that I have of my father are of either in the van with him or as he would bring home. Back then, he was a commercial electrician, and so he would bring home boom trucks where he did parking lot lights and stuff. And so as little kids, he would on the weekend take us up in the boom outside of our house. And so, this is back
playing around in a boom truck.
Just playing around in a boom truck, So
yeah, a little dangerous, maybe, but the times are different now.
They are.
Yeah.
They are a lot different.
Yeah,
a lot different for sure. So those are memories that I have of that. But he took me with him everywhere that he went in that aspect of work, and so it sparked something in me at an early age, And
I like the pun.
Spark, you like that?
Yeah.
So it did. Maybe not that as much as teaching the father relationship goals, but that work ethic that he had and the electrical love that I could see that he had for that sparked something inside of me. And so as far back as I can remember, growing up with him, that's what kind of started this whole thing. And I've just, even as a kid, I was always into electronics. A lot of kids, back then in the 90s and 2000s, stereo systems in cars and stuff. Mm-hmm. But I had a stereo system in my bedroom, man.
Yeah.
2 15-inch gel audios.
You were
So,
shaking the house.
I was shaking the house, dude. At an early age, there was something,
That's funny.
in me. So
Yeah.
I've been thankful for that.
Yeah. So how did you get to 5-star?
5-star. Yeah. I was in a treatment facility for a while, of course, from addiction.
Mm-hmm.
And Kip owned the ministry at one time, Jeremiah Tree, which was a local ministry in Xenia.
Yeah, I know Jeremiah.
I ended up out there. And I think at the time Kip didn't own it, but I had crossed paths with him a lot in early recovery. And me and him kind of formed a relationship. And so he always was, would mention 5-star and just the things that they were doing. And so eventually we crossed enough times, and he spoke about it so much. And man, I just felt that I wanted to be a part of something bigger than just this electrical field. This electrical field I have a passion for, but it's not the reason I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
I feel, so through all that, we dug in, and Kip reached out, and I finally came on board, and it's been an amazing journey since then.
Yeah, man. How do you feel like 5-star aligns with that mission for you?
Well, the mission of, who really 5-star is, behind the doors of I know we're, HVAC, plumbing, electrical, but reaching for the community and reaching for the world and having a heart for people, but also having a heart for the employees. Mm-hmm. I've worked a lot of places, like I'm sure you have.
Yeah.
Not that we have any bad things to say about other companies, but I'm saying I've had some other experiences, and I've been in some conversations and places with, situations that people didn't really make you feel the best when you walked out of those doors. Mm-hmm. And I can tell you here, the attitude and the way that they want to let people thrive and help people set up for success is a true thing. Mm. And, it's a calling for me that I feel that I'm here. And I'm just thankful to be a small part of it, and in any way that I can be used, in this organization.
Well, we're grateful to have you, man.
Thank you, man, dude.
Yeah. You already mentioned a little bit about your dad, Kip. Who would you say is a hero in your life that's helped mold you to become the person you are today? For sure. First and foremost, I always, my parents first, just because, there was a very dark time in my life where I did terrible things to people, including my parents. I wasn't the man that I was supposed to be for our family. And they always stuck by me, even in times when nobody should have stuck by me for the things that I was doing, Mm-hmm. They always showed me love, and they were always there to keep a roof over my head and food in me when at the time food wasn't really that important to me, but they were always there to walk me through that time. And so they've always, of course, I'm sure everybody's parents are always somebody that's, a staple in their life. So them for sure. But I also had two people that at one time in my life, Kelly and David Skidmore. They were just some random pastors of a church in Xenia that as I was in that ministry of Jeremiah Tree, they had come by 2 or 3 times and just done some Bible studies with us. And at that time, the ministry was going through some rough times to where they had to close the doors. And so they didn't have a place for us to go. Mm. And they pretty much said we had a certain amount of time to leave. And these two people, David and Kelly Skidmore, 3 times of a Bible study. So what's that? Like a 3-hour, hour each Bible study about they'd come by, and they said they had been in prayer. But these people opened their door to me at a time when I was just lost and broken still, bro. I was not this man today for sure. I was confused. The noise in my head was louder than anything around me. Mm-hmm. And for perfect strangers to come up and open their door to me and to take me in was something that I will never forget. And during that process is when they helped lead me to the Lord. He was always chasing all of us like he does, but I wasn't open to that as I was today. And so they showed me a way of life that where I could lean on one thing and that one thing would carry my life. Yeah. And so I'm very thankful for them. Yeah. Bless them, man.
Yes.
Those are the people we need when,
They are.
Yeah. Those are the people we use to help pull ourselves up,
Yeah.
They're definitely blessings. You're already kind of like talking about this, but can we go deeper on some of the hardships?
Yeah.
What did that look like? I mean, the darkest times that, changed everything for you.
Yeah.
What was that like?
Yeah. Dude, it got dark, like I'm sure it does for all of us. But, an addiction of drugs and alcohol and pretty much anything that would be accessible to me, I always tried to take it to the next level. And, a period of my time where I had almost burned everybody that was around me that wanted the best for me. They were trying to speak into me the things I needed to hear, but I wasn't wanting to hear any of that. I was trying to do it my own way. I figured I had the plan. I could figure out how to get things done. And, through burning everybody and just being irresponsible with my life, pretty much there was, no one left. But from times like that to being in prison, I have multiple felonies, tons of misdemeanors. I mean, it looks like a book. If you really had to set it out on the table, it's embarrassing to see that that's the person I was. That's the things that catching felonies and misdemeanors in a week and going to jail and being out of jail in one day and then going back to jail the same day was an average week sometimes for me. And, through those times, but being in prison was another level of things for me. That's when I really realized that, I'm creating something that maybe I'm not built for. And I get it. We all in that life wanted to say, we're about this life. But for that was an opening experience where I realized I'm not built to be in a place with a bunch of men trapped up all day trying to kill you. That's your mentality all day long, is how am I going to be able to protect myself from the time I wake up? Even while you're sleeping, you can't protect yourself, but you really need to have that mentality because in there, things can happen fast. And it was an eye-opening experience. I told myself the last time I got out of prison that was going to be the last time I had to walk out of those doors. And that I was going to not have to rely on other people as a grown man to send me money for food and to be able to help sustain me as a man. I mean, for me, I felt that was a very sad version of myself.
Yeah. And I was going to ask you about that actually, because change looks different for everybody.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a gradual, like slight movements and it leads you in a different direction. And for some people, me personally, it was like, I flipped a switch and made a decision. Yeah. And it sounds like maybe that was the case for you. I mean, was that the moment when you got out that last time? Was that the moment where you shifted everything, or when did that happen for you?
Yeah. I can't say that was the truth. I do resemble like what you said for sure. There was a shift. Leaving prison that day, I can say that I was done, but I still wasn't. I was still running around and doing things, maybe not to the fullest as I was before. I wasn't catching felonies and misdemeanors anymore. I was trying to make the turn. And I can just be transparent. The turn didn't come till one day at an altar. One day at an altar at this church that Brother Dave was taking me to. They had me come up to this altar and I put my knee down, and I felt at that time I was just done with life, bro. I was done doing the things I was doing. And I finally just let it out. I let it out that I wanted to change. And I feel God knew at that time there was somebody here that I was willing to give it to him and allow him to do the work.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's where the change took place, because I can remember standing up, going home for the first week. I was still in that rehab facility. And I remember just in the mirror, I wasn't as upset with myself anymore. I wasn't, the person I was seeing was the person that was born, that I should have been walking that way, I feel. Some days you would get up, at least for me, I would get up and I was just aggravated with myself. I was aggravated with my reflection. I was aggravated with the way that I dealt and the things I did to people. Sad, dude.
So relatable.
Yeah.
I think we all felt that to some extent.
Yeah.
You're a way different person now, right?
I am.
Praise God for that.
Praise God. Praise God.
So the shift happens. You start on the path, the journey to a new life. And now you're here with us at 5 Star.
Amen.
I always say, I think God places the right people here. I think, this company is anointed.
For sure.
Not to get too, religious or whatever. But what's the hope for you? What's a dream? Where do you take this from here?
Yeah, dude. From here, I want my dream would be just to inspire others. You know, I feel, and not that I'm going to inspire others, but I hope that my walk would help show people that no matter how bad the situation or the circumstances get, anything can change, man. Anything can turn around. You know that, the transformation that's happened in your life, anything can shift and change. And I just want to be able to inspire others through my walk that, this life for me is the same life for you, for him, for her. It's for everybody. It's not a secret.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope that, I'll be able to share through my life, I guess, just to inspire others.
Yeah. So we have our core values as a company.
Yeah.
Relentless, experts, passionate, integrity, and generosity.
Nice.
Of those 5, which one do you think resonates with you the most?
Yeah. Yeah, dude, that's an easy one. Integrity, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Above everything. That's what Dave and Kelly really I seen through their lives, at that time, was above everything to always make the right decision to the best of your ability.
Mm-hmm.
I want to make sure, even when I'm by myself, I'm in my house, I'm with my wife in our area, that I'm making the right decision that would set us up for success.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's so easy to make this little bit of a turn, that might be a benefit for us at the moment, but internal, I know that little, that's not the straight and narrow. I live a pretty simple black and white life. I'm a black and white. There's right and there's wrong. And I try to stay on that path as best. So integrity.
Yeah. So is that the message? I was going to ask you, what would be your message? But it sounds like that's it.
Yeah, dude.
Is there anything else you want to add to that for the audience, for our employees, for the people watching?
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to add?
Man, I try to live too. You're right. High energy, but the passion, dude, if you allow the passion to be louder than the challenges, right? It's hard, dude. It's hard for me. I'm taking a new role on that. I absolutely have a lot to learn to get to where I need to be.
Mm-hmm.
And it's overwhelming, but I want to let the passion be louder than the challenges, because then that passion will create work that others will be able to see, but it'll create sustainable work, man. And I believe that will be something that will carry me into the next stage of life.
Yeah.
And so I just try to always, when I meet people, just to be the best person I can be at all times, to the best, because man, this world is overwhelming, but yep, I would say that'd be my message too.
I love it, man.
Yeah, dude. Appreciate it.
To end things on a fun note.
Yeah.
What is something about you, Brian Shade, that's an interesting fact, a hidden talent that nobody knows about you, or most people don't know about you? I'm sure your wife probably knows everything.
Yeah.
But
dude, I'm a pretty simple person, dude, to be honest, man. An interesting fact. It's probably something everybody knows as well. I don't know. That's a good one, dude. That's kind of, I'm simple, dude. I just like to unplug. I enjoy coming to work and getting home and spending time with my wife. It's serving the Lord, but I'm sure everyone knows that one.
Don't you have like a Tesla or 2?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. That would be a good one.
I think that's pretty interesting.
Yeah. I believe, the gas bills got high for me, but as an electrician, we're electrical all the way. And so I have went totally electric on everything.
Yeah.
It's been amazing. It's saved me a ton of money, bro.
Yeah.
It has. And I'm not the best of drivers, so that's maybe another fact. I've had a few accidents in my day. There was 30 points on my license at one time.
A little bit more security.
It's a little security.
It'll help you.
It does. I don't have to drive anymore. I type in the address and that's where we go.
Yeah. Nice.
So, yeah.
Brian, thank you for being here.
Appreciate it, man.
Guys, if you haven't already, like and subscribe, comment. We want to hear back from you guys. We want to continue to grow and develop this thing. So if you haven't yet, go on there, give us a follow, give us a like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.